Yo, what's poppin', guys? You got your boy Nandra here. Welcome to another video. So for this video, I'm going to be playing some Portalcraft. Now, this is thankfully going to be one of those videos where I mess up, but this is actually a really nice game that I messed up because it's a game of the mirror. Now, now obviously the Portalcraft mirror, because that's what I'm playing right now, is one that like it takes some getting used to, just because obviously like Portcraft as a whole takes getting used to, but it's more trickier to navigate because like there are like certain like phases I guess of the game. Anyhow, I'm gonna show you guys the deck list I'm using. So it's more or less a list I got. Alright, so it's more or less a list I got off JCG, although like or not sorry not JCG, Japanese Twitter. There we go, Japanese Twitter. It's more or less it more or less has a lot of the same focal points that I do. I think the only changes or the only like differences between like my list and their list is that like I believe I was using one more copy of Iron Staff Mechanic and one less copy of Cat Cannoneer, and I wasn't using any copies of Nilpotent Entity. However, Nilpotent Entity is a card that you really, if you're not playing it, you definitely should be playing at least some number of copies of this, just because it helps out the matchups where you get bursted down, like for example, Forest as well as Dragon immensely, just because like you don't really have healing as Portalcraft. Like you can play Cogspinner, but Cogspinner feels awful to play. So yeah. Anyway, so the game, like I said, the game I'm gonna show you is gonna be a game of the mirror. It's gonna be a game where I mess up. Now, granted, I'm not sure overall. Like, well, I'll just go ahead and cover it at the end of the game. Yeah, it's going second. It's fine. I don't. I'm not. I'm still not sure whether or not going first or going second in the Porto Camaro is better. To be honest with you, I feel like going second is probably better, just because like you have the Evo advantage, and that matters a lot more when we both have Acceleratium, which lets you make a lot of crazy plays. So let me go ahead and talk about like my mulligan here. So if you're going first, and probably if you're going second too, but these three cards that I have in my hand, probably probably one of the best three card hands you could keep in a mulligan in any deck period, just because you have a lot of crazy plays you can make. So you get the Magical Line, right? You get a Magical Line, you set that up on two. You play the Fervent on three. The Fervent on three pulls up the Analyzing for you, which lets you get the copy for free with the Hamlet on four, which lets you go ahead and just make a board of three creatures, two of which are self-replacing, and one of which is technically already replaced up because it made a copy of something else that also replaces itself. So you have a lot of things going for you there. You're able to make a board, and you're able to just kind of bully out your opponent before you even need to see the Acceleratum at all. So my opponent mulligan two cards. That's fine. He plays the meta protection on one. Meta protection on one is it's it's fine. Like it means that he guaranteed has a pull for his perfect on three unless he draws one of them. I pick up the Hawk Robbie and the Cat Cannoneer. These are fine. They're not like obviously what I would like to get, but they're still fine. So here I pick up the Iron Staff Mechanic as well. That's again, this is fine, but like I know I'm not. I know that I'm probably not playing these for quite some time, just because I want to, just because I have my turn 2, 3, 4, 5 set up. So if I do play these, it'll be because I got somehow forced to do that. But that's almost assuredly not going to happen. So here, when you place the Hamlet, I immediately know what's going to happen to me. I'm very upset, but it's fine. So there's no way he would play at the Hamlet here unless he just somehow like didn't draw anything at all, which I know to be impossible, or unless he somehow found one of his 1PP artifacts and he just copied it. So now we're just like, okay, which one did you get? Unfortunately for me, he does actually pick up the analyzing artifact and is able to copy it. So it's actually a bit of a problem for me now, because now I'm very far behind on board, and I won't be able to catch up on board for quite some time. So I'm still gonna go with my game plan because like my game plan is still the correct play, and I just have to play like he doesn't have anything. Unfortunately for me, he picks up another Hamlet and makes another copy. So now he has a lot of artifacts in his hand. Or sorry, so now he's able to like kind of like beat me to the punch, sort of like, because this the board he has right now. This is the board I wanted to make this turn, but now I'm making this a step behind, and that puts me very far behind. However, that's still fine because now I just use up my free Evo. So now in order to try to like make a comeback into this board, and this is still fine because if he wants to have substitution here, that's fine. Doesn't matter to me. Yes, I know I said that's fine a lot, but sorry about that. But yeah. So I'm in a very, very tenuous position right now, but I can recover. He plays Periodic Singer. To be honest with you, Periodic Singer is pretty weak as a turn overall. Like, he only gets 2 creatures out. That's fine. He makes a trade for me, so he, draw last. Now, unfortunately for me, he is going to evolve. If he hadn't evolved, I would have been able to just like punish him severely this turn and just make another board. But unfortunately, he evolves, so I'm not able to do that. So this turn, I mess up. I mess up huge. This is actually one of those like sort of like deciding turn sort of things. I'm I'm not 100% sure, but I'm fairly certain if I didn't mess up this turn, I probably would have been able to take the win. So there's a few different ways you can go about this turn. You can play the Hawk Robbie here. You never play the Hawk Robbie. The Hawk Robbie is the biggest mistake, because if you've been keeping track of the number of artifacts I have left in deck, I did not play a meta production. She's only have the one more artifact left in deck, and that's it. The other option is you can go 2-drop plus 3-drop of some sort. So you can go either so you can go so you can go Mechwing, and then you can go either Iron Staff, Cat Cannoneer, or Fervent. Personally, for me, I would like to go for the Fervent the most, just this way I can like make a board, and then from there you can go ahead and you can hopefully play out the biofabrication for whatever it was he pulled out from Fervent if you choose to do that. So definitely that's going to be the play here. But I don't. But I like didn't keep track of number of artifacts I had left in deck, which is, again, it's very, very important that you do that. So if you weren't doing it already, you definitely want to go ahead and like take pen and paper or whatever, or just have like make it like a mental note about this. So I play with the Hawk Robbie. Here I evolve. I make the evolve because if I don't make the evolve, I get alright. So if I do or don't make the evolve, I get punished by him having Machina here. However, I decided to make the evolve into the smaller unit, just because this way I'm out of substitution range. If he wants to go ahead and wants to use Otherworld Rift, that's fine. Otherworld Rift takes up his entire turn. That's great. I'll take it. Unfortunately for me, he did in fact actually have the Machina, so this is really bad. But he is actually out of Evos. No, I'll take 3 damage. That's fine. So here, unfortunately, I wasn't able to actually get what I wanted here either, which is still annoying, but it's still workable. We can still like make this work. So here, yet again, there's a lot of different decision trees I can go for. I can go for 3-drop, 2-drop, 1-drop, and then maybe play a 0 cost and then play another 1-drop, something like that. To be honest with you, I didn't quite figure out exactly what the best possible term was here. Like, I definitely think putting out as many creatures as possible and definitely getting rid of this unit is the best. So you definitely want to spend 3 mana on this. But will you spend the 3 mana on the Fervent Machine Soldier? To be honest with you, yes. So the play we can go here is you guys should go ahead and go Acceleratium. We play up the Acceleratium. Then we go ahead and we play at the Acceleratium. Then we go ahead and we biofab for the analyzing, to then play at the Fervent, to then play at the now 0 mana analyzing. The trade here, we get a free trade here, and then if we don't pick up another analyzing, we can go ahead and we can just Cat Cannoneer, and then we suddenly control the board. But I don't make this play. But I don't actually make all of this play because like. One of the things about Portalcraft is they do actually have to like take some time to like think about all these plays. Yeah. So I just like completely miss this, and instead I go for the double analyzing. So this way I have artifacts in deck. I pick up another Acceleratium. However, like I said, this is actually a bit of a misplay. The correct play is to actually play the Cat Cannoneer. The reason why is because like the Cat Cannoneer will always cost 3 mana to do exactly what the Analyzer artifact took 1 mana to do this turn. But 3 mana is a lot. Like 3 mana is a lot. We're not getting the mana back immediately, and that was actually a bit of a big deal. I've also exposed one of my Acceleratiums. In the mirror, you don't want to expose it unless you absolutely have to, because you will get punished if your opponent can actually find copies of his. Yeah. So now he draws 7 cards with Machina, and that's really annoying for me because like he's digging towards his Acceleratium. if he hasn't already found it already. Here I have the option to play Deus Ex. To be honest with you, and to be really honest with you, I should take this immediately, but I don't take it because I'm still kind of like I'm still I don't know like I kind of well okay well sorry I know I've made a lot of missteps, but I'm still kind of just a little bit like a little bit kind of like a little bit kind of like I don't know like dazed or whatever because the whole well he's like one step ahead of me so now I'm like so I feel like so I kind of feel like I'm like two paces behind. And here you see the misplay of me not using the cat cannoneer come back to bite me in the ass because I would like to play Machina here and I would like to play my like acceleratum and just be able to full clear this board, but I can't actually full clear this board, so I choose to hold off on playing the Machina, which is actually a bit of a mistake. I should have done that because again, it's really important that I get this out now as opposed to later and just take the feels bad man trade, but I don't do it because I kind of just I don't know I was just really adverse to taking damage right here, and I kind of just like don't play the Machina. This is a big mistake because I had to play the Machina at some point, and it definitely had to be there. Here he finds the Acceleratium, so now I know that I'm probably going to lose. Yep, he has Hakrabi as well. Hakrabi is really good once you get the Acceleratium and you have a good network of artifacts in your deck. Just because like it basically means like get a free for 0 mana 4/2 because you're most likely gonna be searching out for analyzings and you're gonna get two of them. So you just get a bunch of stats for free and it's really great. Yep. Here he tosses back another 6 cards. Now, unfortunately for me, I'm not sure how I'm going to die yet. I'll go ahead and actually play up the Hawk Hobby here. Unfortunately for me, I don't pick up a single analyzing. Not picking up analyzes actually hurts me a lot because it's kind of the artifact you needed, but it's fine. To be quite honest with you, something I could have done is I could actually tried to play up the Mechling Soldier first in order to try to put more analyzings into my deck, so I would have a higher chance of hitting those. But I don't do it, and so now I have to take Feels Bad Man play because now I'm not gonna be able to play Machina at all because I'm behind. I'm also out of artifacts. You want to kind of be in a spot where you're just kind of chain your plays or whatever. So it's that like every turn where you end of the turn, you immediately have like gas for the next turn. But here he just substitutes away my ward, which means I know he's going to set me up for lethal. Here he makes sure to not go into resonance. This is great. And so now I can actually go into resonance if I want to. However, I have to like let him keep all of that in play. I do get the analyzing artifact, which is nice because I can go ahead and clear off some of this, but it doesn't matter. The damage is already done, and now I'm just basically praying that okay, maybe he hopefully doesn't have Saphira. Because next turn I can do a lot because I did manage to pick up another. I did manage to pick up a lot of ways to create multiple analyzer artifacts, and so hopefully I'm going to try to draw into some of them. But I am going to lose my entire board in the process. Thankfully, though, I'm still at a relatively healthy life total, which I know seems weird because I'm at 10, but still relatively healthy. Because he hasn't played any copies of Ironforge Fighter yet. So I'm still safe. Here, I'll go ahead and actually play out both my mana protections early. To be honest with you, the only reason I'm choosing to play them out early is because I really want to make sure that I can get rid of this entire board. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm actually gonna try to do that. I'll go ahead and trade. I pick up an extra. When I pick up the Grizz, I'm like, okay, well, I really need to make sure that this all gets cleared. So I'll actually go ahead and play up the Match Still Lion. Now, ordinarily, you really want to try to like avoid playing out anything that you can't actually suicide when you have the Acceleratium up, just because you want to be able to keep going. Unfortunately for me, I draw blank again. I'll go ahead and play out the Mechling Soldier, and then I'll go ahead and actually play out the Mana Protection as well. Or sorry, I didn't play out the Mana Protection because I'd already played two of them, so I knew I was going to go into Resonance. So here I draw a bunch of cards, and this is great. because he's almost at a point where he can actually like lose the game. Unfortunately for me, he had Saphira, so I'm able to die because he had the Saphira for exactly 11, which is very, very unfortunate, but sometimes it happens. And that's going to be one of the things when you play Portalcraft in the future, is that trying to figure out whether or not your opponent just like doesn't have Saphira, or if they do have Saphira. But that game easily could have been avoided if I just like didn't make the misplays that I made. Like they're very, very slight, but they do actually have a very, very big impact on the game as a whole. So although I know a lot of people say that, oh, misplays don't matter or anything like that. No, misplays matter a lot. It's just trying to find the degree to which of how much it does matter. Sometimes it's game losing, sometimes it's not. And it's just trying to make peace with whatever the judgment becomes. If you enjoyed the video, go and leave a like, go and hit subscribe, and I definitely have more prototype games to show you guys. I'll definitely show you guys them probably later today, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.